With the Erin Patterson, aka Mushroom Massacre Luncheon from you know where, underway, I wanted to revisit the interview that she did with the media to see what we see now that we didn't see then, so on and so forth. And so we're going to do all that and more in today's video.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad, sipping from the cup at hey.
Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. There's a bunch of sofas back there because it's a green screen, but there's only one Paul right here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Paul, and if you're not new to the channel, my name is still Paul. Okay. Now, we're going to be revisiting that interview that she did, she being Erin Patterson, when she was still a free woman. This was during the midst of family members dying and this, that, and the other. This is the case in Australia. She cooked a bunch of beef Wellingtons. Several of them were poisoned and laced with death cap mushrooms. It took out 3 family members, almost killed 1. She has been, they dropped the charges of, her attempting to kill her husband as well. So that being said, I wanted to look back over it now that we're getting evidence presented and we're seeing and we're finding out stuff behind the scenes. And so when I went back and watched it on the live chat, I was like, oh my God, right? So I was like, let me kind of do a breakdown of it here for the main channel. So that's what we're going to do. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm just going to play clips. We'll stop along the way and make commentary.
It's a tragedy what's happened.
Can you tell us about the meal that you cooked?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so first things first, right off the bat. I mean, she is working those tears, y'all. You notice how she's like, it's a tragedy. What's happened? And then she's like, takes the glasses off to be like, oh, damn, they can't see these fake tears. I'm going to make sure they see them. Okay, now another thing to keep in mind, and one thing that is, and this is just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a cop. I'm not a judge. I'm not any of that fancy credentialed stuff, right? Only credentials are my sass and the sofas. So there's that. My sofa sass opinion of what I have seen is that Erin plays the victim card. When her back's against the wall, she'll cry, she'll manipulate, she'll emotionally manipulate, and we are seeing it prime time in this interview. She's starting right off the bat with the fake crying, letting everyone see that. So just keep that in mind as we go, and let's keep going.
Devastated by what's happened, by the loss of Don. Don is still in hospital. The loss of Ian and Heather and Gail. They were some of the best people that I've ever met. Gail was like...
Take your time.
Gail was the mum that I didn't have because my mum passed away 4 years ago.
Okay, now this part right here, where she starts like the sobbing, like she was the mom I never had. Notice how she turns it around back to herself for sympathy. She was the mom I never had because my mom passed away several years ago. Now this could be a legitimate thing. This could be something you could expect to hear from someone, right? Like a genuine thought of like, oh my God, I can't believe I lost this person. They were like the fill in the blank I never had, right? But when it's coming from the person that has, in some fashion poisoned them. The question is whether it's intentional, because she's not denying that, there was poison involved. She's trying to make it out like it was, maybe she got, the raw mushrooms from wherever, right? She's trying to blame people. So to hear, knowing that context is what adds that layer of like, and again, just like the state, I believe it was the state said in the opening, we might not ever know the true motivation, right? It's very blurry, because there's this level where it's like, yeah, you're saying this, but yet you tried killing all these people, or did you just want to make them sick? Are you genuinely sorry because in your world you were like, I was just going to try and make him sick and like get attention and and now I went too far. But I would have a hard time believing that she would not understand the severity of the poison she was giving them. I personally think she completely researched this and knew what she was doing and knew exactly how these mushrooms worked. I think it's why she wasn't in a rush to get them to leave after they ate, and that's when she sprung the cancer conversation on them. So for her to sit here and act devastated, it's like you had to have known this was an outcome. Or were you just devastated because you didn't think that it would come back to you? I mean, who knows?
And Gail's never been anything but good and kind to me. And Ian and Heather.
Okay, now that part right there. Gail's never been nothing but good and kind to me. It's like, does she actually feel guilty? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. Gail's only been nice to me. Or is this just point blank period, a complete facade, and we are seeing some form of psychopathy on full display?
With some of the best people I've ever met, they never did anything wrong to me, and I'm so devastated about what's happened.
Can you tell us
and
a
the
bit?
loss to the community.
Also, notice how she keeps doing this number. Yeah, almost like she's like getting a whole handful of tears. Like, oh my goodness, I have a whole bucket full of tears here. You know, it's like she's very fixated on that. Now, I also don't know what the laws are down there, but like in my world right here, I'm thinking this. And again, this might play out this way in America too, but I just don't see it happen in this fashion. But it's weird to me that the press is like on her private property at her little garage, walking up to her front door. Because in my world, I'm just like, why don't you tell them to leave? Like, regardless of guilt, not guilt, like that's annoying. Because here, I feel like when we watch this, you see the press, like, and I'm making this up, but think of the laundries, for example, right? When that case went off, where they're standing on the paved road, which is technically, like, they can stand there. So it's like they're standing there, but like to approach the home and go and do that, like once the homeowners like get away. So it's just weird to me how they're all up in her business, and at a certain point she seems annoyed, like she's getting away, and it's like, well, girl, just tell them to get off your property, right? I mean, come on.
And to the families and to my own children who've lost their grandmother.
Can you tell us a bit more about the lunch?
What I can tell you is that I just can't fathom what has happened.
Okay, now this part, she got a little thrown off. When the conversation came to lunch, she was like, oh, and this is the vibe I get. Almost like this, where there's a little bit of annoyance, but also surprise of like, you're supposed to be feeling sorry for me, not asking that question. I have emotionally manipulated you, and it's just a silently understood thing that we don't ask that. And now you're asking it, and I'm annoyed, and I don't know what to say. Obviously, that is just my own perception of that, right? But she gets quiet. She's like, what I can say is it's horrible. Now, also, she can't be so stupid as to not know that, like, legally, she needs to really be watching herself and being like, you know, so you would want to be careful what you say as well. But also notice the whole thing of, my children have lost their grandmother. You know, and it's like, and again, this is very true, but like, you caused that, right? So it's like, now we're upset about it. Like, don't punch yourself in the face and then go scream to everybody that you have a black eye. Like, you punched yourself. You know what I mean?
I just can't fathom what has happened. That Ian and Heather have lost their lives, and Gail has lost her life, and Donna's still in hospital, and I pray that he pulls through, because my children love him.
And you must be pretty shaken up by this as well.
This part is so weird to me. The way she's like, I'm like, what is she looking at? This is just so bizarre to me. You know, she's like, I pray. And again, I mean, I'm not trying to, because this would be normal coming from somebody like benign to the situation, right? Like maybe one of their kids, or like from Simon or the sister or one of his brothers, whatever. But with Erin, there's just this level where it's like, but you were part of the problem. So why are we doing this now, other than feeling scared to go to prison the rest of her life? And like, oh gosh. And this is where I go back and forth, because I have such conflicting feelings, because at one point part of me feels like she got in over her head. She just wanted to make him sick. She just wanted to prove a little point. She had no idea that this was going to happen. Like maybe she just thought that the death cap mushrooms would just give him an upset stomach like food poisoning, right? But then why would you want a whole room full of people to be able to walk away and be like, yes, she absolutely, you know, decimated our stomachs over dinner? Because you know, like you were poisoning all of them. It makes no sense.
I'm devastated. I love them. And I can't believe that this has happened, and I'm so sorry that they have lost their lives.
Notice that part right there where she goes, I'm so devastated and I'm so sorry that they lost their lives. Like she knew, she does, and like, again, this is just my opinion, she doesn't want to assume guilt. Like, I'm really sorry, but I didn't do anything. I meant for they lost their lives. Or you see what I mean? Like, it's, like, I think she knows what she did, but I don't know where she started off at. Like, again, it's like if she was just, like, she knows what she did. Obviously, she's seen the repercussions of it. So on some level, it's either, like I said, I just meant to make him sick, or, oh, I thought they were going to go home and die and nobody would trace it back to me. But then in that frame of mind, how would anyone think that numerous people all related to the same situation and people dying wouldn't get traced back to somebody? Like, what would be the reasoning in killing all of them? That too makes no sense.
How are you
I
kids?
just can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
Can you tell us where the mushrooms came from?
Again, she goes double fisted for this one. She's like, I just can't. But again, Annie Wilkes through and through. I mean, if Stephen King needs to be careful with these characters he writes, because they're coming to life in damn 2025. Okay, we got Annie Wilkes over in Australia. We got the dude from Thinner with the pies. We got him doing life. You know who I'm talking about in the Disney town. Stephen King needs to be careful. He needs to start writing some happy stuff, right? Because this is all, we got Cujo. I think I might have just gotten Cujo with Luke. Good Lord help me. He's a little terror. So he needs to be careful. Now, notice this. Now we're getting ready to get into the whole thing of, well, what about where'd you get the mushrooms? She doesn't like this question from anybody for obvious reasons. Notice also you heard her go when she was walking around the car over that question. Again, this is all again, just my opinion. This is all highly emotionally manipulative tactics she's doing. She's not used to someone questioning her beyond the crying. She's not used to that. This gets her way usually. It's not getting her way right now. And she doesn't, people like this don't know what to do with that. People like this who do these manipulative things and then when their back's against the wall, they cry and they get their way because like it's a human reaction. We don't like that. So we want to make it go away like a baby crying. We're like, fix it, help it. Same kind of thing. They use this to their advantage. Well, the reporter's like, girl, we don't care. We're getting some content, right?
Were they tips from the property area?
I just ask you to leave me alone now, please.
Police say you're a suspect. Do you have anything to say about
Yes,
that?
I say I didn't do anything. I love them.
Look at how gentle the one reporter is. He's like with his hands in front. He's like, where'd you get the mushrooms? He's just like a little kid being so polite. I mean, which is like what you have to do. And it's just like, we're still going to ask you where'd you get the mushroom? And then like the whole thing, like, you're a suspect. I love them. Well, people do this all the time where they love people and kill them. It happens all the time. I would have wanted to know what was in her grocery bag.
And I'm devastated that they're gone. And I hope with every fibre of my being that Don pulls through.
I bet she does want him to pull through. She's trying to stay out of prison. She's already got 3 bodies under her name, right?
That's
Where
what I
did the
have to
mushrooms
say.
come from? Were they picked by you or where did they come from, Erin? Can you tell us? What meal did you cook them? Did you eat the same meal, Erin?
Okay, you heard where'd they come from? Where'd they come from? Now, first of all, I love that door, right? The door to her house, love that. Yeah, they're asking, where did you eat the same meal? Did you do this? They already knew. This is the whole thing. So now that we know what we know, okay, she's out here doing this stuff right here. People are dropping dead in the hospital. She's over here with a little bag run from the store. You know, God knows what's in it. This is totally not what she should be doing if she ate that same food. She should be on life support in the hospital. So this is why it became very obvious to these medics and stuff like that, where it's like, what, she wants to check herself out? Huh? She's gonna go run some errands and come back and like book an appointment to get her stomach pumped. Does she know that her family members are dying in the next room? Completely abnormal. Okay, so if you've been following my coverage or following the case, whatever, you know, one of the medics was like when they said bring your kids in, and she was like, I don't want to get them involved in this, and she got like all teary-eyed. That to me again was like either a mixture of manipulation, but also realization. And here that's where I was like, I want to go back and watch this thing. And I'm like, she does the whole thing of like, let me resort to tears, which I think a normal person who lost this many people would be upset. But with Erin, there's this level where it's like I said before, she caused the problem, and by hook or crook, accident or whatever, she's part of the problem. And she's trying to stay out of prison. And so that's where it's like, you know, what is authentic? Each rabbit hole I go down on this, because to me, there's 2 ways to view it. I wanted to make them sick and get attention. I wanted to kill them. Either way, I think attention is at that, but either way, it doesn't make sense because let's say this, and maybe in her mind, she was like, it'll give them food poisoning and then I'll feel bad and then I'll like endear myself to them and really take care of them. But what would be the point of that? Other than like being the savior for the day. But she also is very big on getting the husband over there too. So did she just want to kill them all? I don't think she wanted to spend the rest of her life in prison. I don't think she wanted to lose her children to this. You see where I'm going with that? It doesn't make sense. It's almost like she had something in her mind up here as a desired outcome and didn't look past anything other than that image. Not the how do you get there and not the what happens after, but this. And whether that's I'm tending at the bedside, or they all went home and died, and I'm the, oh my goodness, thank God I lived. We're so lucky. Maybe she wanted to create a story of, oh, I got these mushrooms and somebody, did a poisoning thing in the grocery store. And I just had this thought, you know how she's part of the true crime groups? What if she was like, I'll tell them it's Woolworths. This happens all the time in true crime. You know that case here happened here in the States where the person was poisoning the food, like products like Tylenols and things like that at grocery stores, and people were dropping dead. They were putting like cyanide in it. Almost like that, where she was like, this happens. I'll just recreate it and then it'll go viral and I'll get attention for it and I'll be the lone survivor. Like, I almost wonder if she had some grand plot in her mind like that, thinking I'll go that route and then whatever will happen, and it obviously went sideways. Because the human part of me wants to believe that she is sad. When I look at this, I want to believe that she is sad about them dying, right? Like, I can't wrap my mind around that she's completely making that up. Like, that she doesn't give two you-know-whats about them dying at her hand, whether it was intentional or not, right? Like, the part of me that's just like, still has a tiny hope for humans and human civilization is like, no, surely there's some truth in there. Surely she's upset over this. Maybe there's not. And again, I don't think we'll ever know. Even if they come up and she's guilty, she's gone away, justice is served, I don't think we'll ever know what went through the mind of Erin, right? We'll never know. So I don't know how it works in Australia. If people can talk after the fact, if they can, please, all over that, right? So anyways, please let me know. Do you think that she meant to do this? Do you think she meant to do it? Yes or no? Dying to know. So that's it. If you're still watching, I greatly appreciate it. If you could drop some little stuff off down in the comment section below for myself, Rosco and Spirit, Bo and Luke, and the rest of the Sofa Squad. So we'll have a place to sit on the sofa, not eat mushrooms, not eat beef Wellington, but talk about Erin and her mushrooms and her beef Wellington. And until we all gather around there to do that, I'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Rosco on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad, sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.